So let's talk about African textiles and fashions. And what you say are textiles? Just flexible material that's made by interlocking yarn or threads. So the more familiar African textiles that we know of are linen, cotton, bark cloth, raffia fiber, and strip woven fabrics like kente and mudcloth. So, as far as history has been able to determine, clothing started out with people using animal skins to cover themselves and for warmth. This devolved to using plant fibers, again, using cotton, linen, those fabrics to create material by interlocking yarns and threads. So these created in West African countries, the oldest being found in Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, Benin, Togo, Ghana, Guinea, Cote d'Ivoire, and Nigeria, what we now refer to as West Africa. These samples, earliest samples, were found in or around the 11th century. That included the finding of mudcloth, shoke, and kente fabrics. Mali is still the only country in the world that produces mudcloth, and just recently had a change where women are now allowed to assist in the weaving process. Heretofore, women had been relegated to decorating the cloth only. Raffia fabric, which is made from raffia palm tree fibers, was also used throughout the West Africa and Central Africa areas to create clothing. These would be interlocked, woven together to create fabric. Bark cloth, another example. These are trees that were stripped of their bark in strips and then woven together to create cloth or covering. Silk items were found in use in Nigeria in or around the 10th century. But all of these kind of took a back row to cotton. So cotton is a plant, and it has to be planted, it matures, you harvest it, and then you create yarn or threads, and then from the threads you create yarn, and from the yarn you create cloth. Voila. So initially, history shows us that textiles were used as body wrap. So the fabric or covering was wrapped around the body in such a way to protect it. And these were male and female wraps. These became caftans, which are just long, voluminous pieces of fabric initially, no sewing required. Then they turned into like robes where there was a little bit of sewing to create sleeves and necklines. Also, the African sari. Now, when we think of sari, we tend to think of the women of India, but the sari, S-A-R-E-E, first came into wearing by African women. This is a fact. So, in our next segment, we're going to talk a bit more about the impact of colonization on African textiles and fashions. And that's going to be volume 2. We hope to see you there.